Welcome back. As we mentioned last segment, our panelist tonight, Jessica Proud, she's not just a Republican consultant, she's also the campaign spokeswoman for Rob Astorino. And in this segment, she goes back to her day job. The Westchester County executive announced his candidacy in an online video last Wednesday. He is thus far the only declared Republican seeking to unseat New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Jessica, we're a week into the Astorino campaign. Is it going according to plan at this point?
It is. It's been great. It was a really exciting week. You know, we put out the video first, which got an overwhelmingly positive response across the board. And then Rob kicked off his campaign in the Bronx and headed all across the state, really, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Albany. He's headed out to Long Island this week. So the response upstate was phenomenal. People coming out in droves.
And he's going to need big response on Long Island. He's going to need big dollars and big turnout on Election Day if he's going to make a dent in Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, I think, you know, the way you sort of look at a gubernatorial race, you know, it's not decided by New York City, which is overwhelmingly Democratic, but upstate is a huge chunk of the vote, almost 50%. About 30% comes out of New York City, and the rest is the suburbs, which are Rob's backyard, and really speaks to his strength in tackling property taxes and reining in the excessive government spending. So I think he'll do very well, both on Long Island and in the Hudson Valley.
All right, so much for the softball questions. Capital New York reporting that Astorino in his first week has about 25% of the weighted support of county chairmen, Republican county chairpeople across the state. There's about 50% they report who are still undecided or haven't weighed one way or the other, waiting for Donald Trump to make a decision as to whether he's running or not. Donald Trump, I don't think anybody takes his possible candidacy all that seriously, but you would think that there would be more initial support for Rob Astorino as the only credible Republican in the race. Why are they seeming to hold off on that support?
Well, it's a much bigger conversation than that, and I think, you know, the reporter that wrote that story had conversations with certain county chairmen, but there's also underneath the chairman all your committee members and, you know, your elected officials in the county as well that hold some sway over the county's party organization. So we really have support all over the state. We feel very comfortable that, you know, the party is coalescing, both the Republicans and the conservatives. Trump was on the radio today saying he'll make a decision by the end of the week, but, you know, not really sounding like he was gearing up for a run.
But why would county chairmen say that they're holding their fire waiting to see what Donald Trump does?
I think because it's a process, and we've said from day one, you know, we're not looking to be coordinated in this process, and if Donald Trump wants to run, or any other candidate for that matter, they should go through the process, travel around the state, meet with these county chairmen and the county committees and introduce themselves and what the issues that they want to advance in a campaign, and then the party makes a decision. Rob has done that, and whoever else would want to run should do the same thing.
In his opening announcement, the one that posted online last week, Astorino pointed out Shelley Silver, the Assembly Speaker, the Democratic Assembly Speaker. He later referred to Albany as a cesspool that needs purging, again in reference to Sheldon Silver, the Speaker. If Rob Astorino is elected governor of New York, odds are the Speaker of the Assembly is going to be Shelley Silver. How does that work if he's trying to put him, you know, hang Silver out to dry like that at this point in the campaign?
Well, I think one of the things that Rob said from day one was that if he runs, he's going to be very bold in what he thinks needs to be changed in the state. And the fact that New York is #1 in corruption in the entire country, and Shelley Silver as the head of the Assembly covering up sex crimes, that is something that needs to be seriously attacked. You know, the governor, he doesn't have direct control over who votes for speaker. That's up to the members of the Assembly. But as the governor, you have a tremendous platform and you have tremendous political will, you know, and good political will once you're elected. And so he's saying that he would make it a priority to say enough is enough. We need to clean up Albany. So.
Well, Jessica, you know for weeks that Governor Cuomo is going to completely ignore you guys. Rose Garden strategy, and then it's going to get very negative. What type of campaign are you guys bracing for? I guess what I'm asking is, do you really believe you can win this thing?
Absolutely, Dominic.
Seriously?
Yes, Rob wouldn't have ran, and he wouldn't have announced that he was running if he didn't think he could. And, you know, a big part, everyone kept saying, why aren't you announcing yet? You know, we all think you're going to run, but you haven't made it formal yet. And he was very clear about saying he's going to do his due diligence to make sure that he had the financial commitments, the political support, that there was a path to victory. You know, he didn't get in this thing to carry the Republican banner. He got in to win and to actually make the bold reforms that Governor Cuomo promised when he was first elected.
But you don't have the money. And so how are you going to get your message out?
Maybe today. He just announced a few days ago, Dominic. You know, he's had conversations with donors. He raised $6 million for his county exec race, and I think there are financial commitments there, and we are going to be aggressively raising money in order to get our message out. We don't need to match him dollar for dollar. He's got everything he's going to need. He's the governor, but we need enough money to get our message out.
Would you take money from the Koch brothers if the Koch brothers came calling?
I think Rob will take money from anyone that is serious about changing New York State, and certainly David Koch could be a part of that. Absolutely.
Right.
But by the way, Andrew Cuomo has taken money from David Koch as well, $80,000, I think.
We say this every time she's on the show. She's good.
Very good.
She's good. All right, we're going to take a break on RFL. Up next, President Obama goes where no president has gone before. Inside Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis, but is dabbling in cringe humor unpresidential? Watch and decide for yourself next.